So you're doing all the right things. You hit deadlines, you plan meticulously. Your calendar is color-coded, and from the outside it looks like you've got everything together. But inside, you're wired, you're tired, you're numb, or maybe you're constantly chasing the next thing because stillness feels unbearable. That's not ambition, that's survival mode in disguise. And it's one of the most common patterns I see with the women I work with, especially those who've been praised for their productivity their whole lives. So in this conversation, I want to unpack how a high-functioning survival mode hides in plain sight, and how to tell if it's driving your actions, and what to do if the success you built is quietly costing you your peace. I've been there, I've done that. And we're not here to pathologize ambition or demonize achievement. We're here to ask, what's fueling it? Because if it's being fueled for the right reasons, that's great. But not all motivation comes from alignment. Some of it comes from fear. So let's get into it. Here's what survival mode can look like when it's dressed up as ambition. You feel guilty when you rest. You need a goal to feel worthy. You hate being still because it brings up anxiety. You overfunction in every environment, work, home, relationships. You find it hard to connect to joy unless it's earned. You dismiss compliments but chase results. You're either working or recovering from overworking. Does any of that sound familiar? It's not poor time management. That's your nervous system adapting to long-term stress by staying in overdrive. And for many women, this starts young, especially if you grew up in an environment where achievement got you praise or safety, or you learned to do instead of feel, to perform instead of pause, to meet expectations instead of ask what you actually want. And over time, the doing becomes your identity, and rest feels like weakness. And structure becomes a cage, not because of what's in your diary, but because of what's in your body, what's in your mind. Your system isn't broken, it's brilliant. It's just been trained to believe that the only way to be safe is to be exceptional. Let that land. This is why trying to heal this pattern through logic alone doesn't work. You can't outthink a nervous system that's running on fear. You have to work with it. So how can you tell you're stuck in survival mode? You can't rest without justifying it. You don't allow yourself to rest until you've ticked off enough tasks, been productive enough, or earned it. And if you do rest, there's guilt. Guilt is a clue that your system doesn't see rest as safe. It sees it as a threat to your value. Number 2, you're constantly scanning for the next thing. Even when things are going well, you're already focused on what's next. It's hard to sit in satisfaction or enjoy the moment of your current success because there's a low-level hum of urgency beneath. You want to move on, get the next thing done. Third example, you feel more comfortable in chaos. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Downtime makes you restless. You create crisis, or find them, because being in crisis is what your body knows how to do. And I don't mean big, massive crisis. I mean just little dramas. This is the hidden cost of performing from survival mode. Even success doesn't feel safe. So what do we do instead? We build capacity. Capacity to pause, to question, to choose, to rest. And the first step is recognition. The first step in most of the things actually is recognition. Naming the pattern breaks the trance. It gives you something to work with. If you're nodding along, here's something I want you to try. It's a short exercise I call the baseline check-in. So I want you to take a quiet moment, grab a notebook and ask, what do I believe rest says about me? When I'm not being productive, how do I feel? What does my body feel like when I slow down? When was the last time I felt peaceful doing nothing? And what got in the way? You're not trying to change anything here. You're learning to witness what your body and your beliefs have been trying to say. Because the thing about high functioning survival mode is that it often feels normal until you name it. So your next step, 1 cue of safety per day. So that could be saying out loud, it's safe to go at my pace. Because when you teach your brain that safety isn't dependent on performance, you start to uncouple your identity from your output. You begin to feel okay doing less. Let me be clear though, you don't need to stop achieving to heal. You just need to change your relationship to achieving. Ambition isn't the problem. It's ambition without grounding, without recovery, without self-trust. That's what burns you out. And most high-achieving women are unconsciously living by a contract they never signed. It sounds like, if I keep producing, I'll stay safe. If I slow down, I'll lose everything. If I'm not useful, I don't matter. These contracts aren't logical. They're survival vows. They were formed in stress, reinforced by systems, rewarded by society. But here's the shift. You can rewrite them. So do this. Grab a notebook and write this sentence at the top. The hidden contract I've been living by is. Then let your unconscious mind finish the sentence. You might write, if I stop, I'll fall behind. If I don't prove my worth, I'll be forgotten. If I succeed too much, I'll lose love. Take a moment to reflect on what you've written, and then underneath write, what I now choose to live by is, and finish the sentence. This isn't just mindset work. This is a nervous system repair through conscious reauthoring. You're showing your brain that your value no longer hinges on output, urgency, or hyper-independence. And if you want to explore how to build a plan, a rhythm, and a life that actually feels good to live in, the Purposeful Path is where we go deeper with this work. You can find the link in the description below if this is of interest to you. And if this video brought something to light for you, please like and subscribe and share it with someone who might be quietly living in survival mode too. And I'll see you next time.